The converted man here, a Muslim, doesn't prove God to atheists or anyone else for that matter. Let's check out this guy. There's absolutely no way I'm going to pronounce his name right, but I'm going to try. Ayoub Khayati. Okay. Let's check it out.
Religions, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, agree that the universe had a beginning. In the very
Okay. Well, the Jewish people, I guess Genesis, you might view as saying there's a beginning, and since Christianity borrows from Judaism and Muslims borrow from Christianity and Judaism, then yeah, you all agree to that. But Genesis wasn't the first one or the only one to claim that there was a beginning or something like it. So this idea has been around in other religions and other places. There's nothing new under the sun here. It's not unique at all.
first chapter of the book of Genesis in the Bible, it states that God created the universe in 6 days. The Quran states the same thing, that the universe.
And so they're both wrong, period. The universe didn't come about in a mere 6 days. The amount of time that the universe took to go from the singularity to, well, the universe is longer than that, like millions of years long. So, no, you're wrong. Your book is wrong. The end. Oh, well.
The universe has been created in 6 days, although it does not specify that these days are 24-hour periods as human experience. Atheists also accept this, that the universe had a beginning.
And straight out of the gate with an absolute utter lie. Atheists do not have any such agreement. Now, if you could prove that atheists did have an agreement, here would be a good citation that you could have provided. Give me a poll of several atheists showing that the majority of atheists do agree on this idea. You don't have that because you don't have that poll. And if you bother to do that, you would find out that no, atheists don't have that agreement. By and large, atheists only agree on that we don't believe in God and everything else is up for grabs. But I would dare say, if I was to speculate based on the number of atheists I know and have interacted with over the years, although that number is extraordinarily small, it's personal experience, so it could be discounted and you should be skeptical of it because it's an appeal to a small minority of numbers. But based on that, I would dare say that no, atheists do not think that the universe had a beginning. And nor does science think that the universe had a beginning. The singularity is just there in cosmology. Now, there was a video just lately where scientists were asked many questions about what they agree upon, and there was only one answer that they seemed to agree upon in cosmology. So I have the link for that video in the description. Very interesting if you're into that sort of thing. Otherwise, it's maybe a little bit dull, maybe a little bit confusing. I was like, that's words. Okay, cool. Reading it might be better than listening to them talk about it, but regardless, either way, it's information. And the point is, science doesn't have a consensus regarding cosmology as much as we would like to think. Although, yes, the Big Bang cosmology is still the most widely accepted version of cosmology, but this is changing and it will be changed at some point, more than likely. as some new theories and models of the universe are developed. But whatever happens, it doesn't matter to you. You have a book that says a thing. So your book has to be right about that thing, right? What happens if I burn that book? Just wondering. Like, what would you do to me? I just would like to know. Anyways, back to the video.
They just don't believe that it also had a creator. As the Big Bang Theory describes the scientific model that says the universe started from a single dense point and then
No, your Bible doesn't say that at all. It says that God spoke somehow, let there be light. That's not a singularity, that's light, which requires a light source, which there isn't. I don't know how God could speak given that there's no atmosphere to speak in and there's no when or where for God to speak. And in order to speak, you would need vocal cords, but it doesn't matter because it's magic. Your book is wrong.
rapidly expanded. Again, we Muslims can actually confirm this. 1400 years ago, the Quran made a claim in chapter 51, verse 47. It says, "And the heaven we constructed with strength, and indeed we are continually expanding it."
Wow. You got something that you think matches reality. You know, the Hindus have a closer date to the actual date of the universe, although they're off in margins of the other way. They think it's really, really old. So they're wrong the other way. You guys are wrong in thinking that it's a young universe. They're wrong in thinking it's an older universe. But they're closer to the actual age of the universe than you guys are. So that means they're more right than you are. Your book doesn't convince me of anything at all, not even a little. That you can find a few verses that you think align with science is cherry picking. But what's interesting is these things are always found after the fact. That is to say, that currently, find something in the Quran or the Bible, whatever, and say, hey, that's going to be proven in science, and this is what it means. You guys didn't do that way back when, before this was known in science. In fact, the claims made were nothing to do with science before science revealed these ideas, because that's not how religion works. So, no, this isn't proof of anything.
It's literally saying that the universe is expanding. So here's the question for the atheists. Okay, this is just a random first question that you have to address. How did the Quran know that the universe is expanding 1400 years ago, an information that was not known to humanity?
All right, well, this is actually a loaded question because you're assuming that that is indeed what the Quran is saying. I don't know that it is saying that. You said that it says that, but it just says that we're adding to it or stretching it out or whatever. So what? Other other religions have similar claims. So does that mean they're right? The lobsterist claims that the universe came 13 billion years ago, and that's actually correct, or at least semi-correct. So that must mean the lobsterist is more correct than anything else. In fact, the lobsterist has an entire paragraph that is exactly from science. So that must mean it's more right than your book. Oh, but your book was written a long time ago. Right. Well, so was the lobsters, at least according to the lobsters. So how does my book know a thing this long ago when science didn't know it? Accidental chance. There you go. Somebody guessed right. That's it. And you got one thing right out of all the guesses that you made. Woohoo. Whoopee doo. Like I said, other religions make similar claims. And so what? So my answer to your loaded question is, if I accepted your question as is, would be somebody guessed right. But I'm not accepting your question as is because it is loaded. It does assume that the book says what you think it says. I don't know that the book does say what you think it says. I know that you're interpreting it that way. But I don't know what the people at the time thought that that meant, or the culture, or anything else. Who knows what it means? I don't. I'm not an expert in that thing, and I don't think you are either. So you're asking how somebody knew something a long time ago that science knows now. They guessed well. There you go. I'm not impressed. Now, if your book had said E equals MC squared, I might be a little bit impressed by that.
Whatsoever before. Not the Greeks, not the ancient Egyptians. No one knew this information, while science only discovered this fact in the 20th century through a scientist called Edwin Hubble. I think that's his name, where he discovered that the galaxies are moving away from each other, leading the formulation of the Big Bang Theory. Since we have established that this universe had a beginning and it's not eternal, there must be a rational explanation for its cause, philosophically and scientifically. This leads us to four hypotheses.
Oh, are we going to get a quad dichotomy? Oh, by the way, many religions offer explanations for the universe's origin and structure. Hindu cosmology says it's a cylindrical universe where there's creation, stays, and destruction, so it kind of goes in and out. And that actually matches one of the cosmological models, so that must mean they're right. Buddhism views the universe as always in flux. Well, that matches another cosmological model. That must mean they're right. You know, Zoroastrianism presents the universe as a manifestation of cosmic conflict between existence and non-existence, and that kind of conforms with some thing, whatever, you know. And then Baba faith uh, is taught the universe is neither beginning nor ending. Yeah, that sounds like that matches scientific understanding. Native American religions, yeah, they have all sorts of stuff. Who knows? What's pantheism today? The whole universe is God, I guess. So yeah, I don't know what that means. But yeah, I mean, if you play with the words enough, sure, they all match modern cosmology in some way, shape, or form. Therefore, they must be right. Anyways, what was he asking? Oh, right, he's going into a quad, a quad, not a dichotomy. It's a quad. Quad, I think. Quad. It's a quaternary. Let's see what this is.
Only four possibilities that can explain.
There's only four possibilities. He knows this somehow.
The causation of this beginning of this universe. Number one, the universe is created by nothing.
That's not even a possibility because you'd have to demonstrate that nothing is a thing, and you'd have to have a model to show it. So that's not even a possibility. But your premise that the universe has a beginning is also not something that science agrees on or that atheists agree on. And even if we did agree on it, that wouldn't make it true. So this is baseless. All right. Anyways, what's number two?
Number two, the universe is created by itself.
Well, what is the universe? I don't know. Depends what you think. What do you think the universe is? Like the singularity, right? We know that, or we think we know that at any rate, right? Is infinitely hot and dense state of energy. That's the universe. And that's always been, I guess. I don't really know. I'm not a cosmologist. And then it expanded. So the expanding part, you want to say that's the beginning, I guess. But the universe if it was always that dot, then it always was. So it didn't create itself because it just was. There was no creation. In fact, saying created implies a creator. So this is a loaded answer to your malformed question. And therefore, cannot be a possible answer for this loaded, malformed question that you have asked. So what's number 3? You're not doing so good, by the way.
Number 3. The universe is created by something else that is creator.
Sure, why not? If you're going to say that it's created, then you're assuming there's a creation event. And there's no reason to assume that that thing itself wasn't also created, other than I don't like infinite regress. Oh no. And the last one's going to be God, right?
Number 4. The universe is created by something uncreated.
Wow. I mean, you could have just said your version of God, but well, whatever.
To go through these possibilities one by one.
No, please don't. No, I don't know that I can deal with this. There's no need to go through these. All of these are false. You don't have evidence that any of these are true. These are all bald assertions that you're making to answer a question that is loaded in the first place. You're saying there's a beginning to the universe. We don't know that. Period. We don't know. Science doesn't know that. Now, let me pause a moment. And I'll go to something that he says in the comments. I'm going to have to magnify. We're going to have to scroll down. We're going to have to find the comment section here. It's always fun. All right. I love this. If I don't reply to your comment right away, it means I'm not sitting in front of my screen 24/7 waiting for responses. No. I have a life. It can also mean that your comment's either too dumb to take seriously or too smart for me to understand. Sarcasm, it's not. So far, no one's been able to address my argument because science simply can't provide a rational explanation for the beginning of the universe. Saying we don't know is not a rational explanation. But we don't know. And that is the answer. It's not an explanation because we don't have an explanation. What's a million to the power of 47,009.5? Oh, you don't know? Well, that's not a rational explanation. What is with theists and not... They just, like, broadly speaking, they hate not knowing. Oh, we don't know. It's got... I need certainty. I need certainty. Oh. Don't know. Therefore, God. Yes, the appeal to ignorance and or personal incredulity. That's it. That's what this guy has. He also noticed that he says science doesn't have an answer. It can't have an answer. So he's already decided that even if science tomorrow said, all right, guys, we got it. All the cosmologists here, look, we've got them all on stage. We've got this thing up here. We've got all these things explaining it. You know, it takes like several hours. They're up there. They're drinking drinks. They're taking bathroom breaks. They're eating. You know, they go to sleep. It's a long lecture. It's a long, you know, it's like a 4 or 5 day symposium. Symposium, is that how you say it? I don't know. It's a grand exhibit of here's how reality works, right? And it's like some formula, you know, it's complicated as bleep, or maybe it's really simple. I don't know, but it's a little bit of both, whatever. And meanwhile, the theist is just going to be like, God did all that. You know, that was them picking their nose, by the way. They're like picking their nose, and then they pull out their finger, and they see the booger, and then they eat the booger, and then they go, God did all that. I don't know why they're picking their nose in that way, but I just decided to put that in there because I wanted to poison the well. Anyway, but my point is, it wouldn't matter because this guy has decided He has decided that science doesn't explain it and can't explain it. Science cannot provide a rational explanation for something that he thinks is true, which is the beginning of the universe, which science doesn't agree is a thing. But even if science did come up with an explanation, it wouldn't matter because it can't provide a rational explanation in his mind. That's called being closed-minded. He has decided he's right and science is wrong. So you can't prove to us atheists, non-believers, or believers of some other stuff, I don't know, maybe you can convince them, that you're right when you're so wrong that it's obvious, and you're telling us that you've decided that you're right and science is wrong. And that doesn't matter what it says. Doesn't matter, even if we had the full explanation, it wouldn't matter. We know that you would still say it's God. We absolutely know that without a doubt. The difference between a skeptic and a theist is, well, many, but there's this difference at least. If I had the sort of evidence for God that I do of everything else, I would believe in God. I would have no choice. I would know that there was a God. I wouldn't need belief. I would just know it. I would acknowledge it as part of reality. But if the knowledge was available, and I think it is, that there wasn't a God or that there wasn't any reason to believe in God, you would never, ever accept that, because that would mean you couldn't be a theist anymore. And what is the penalty in the Muslim belief for going away from Muslim belief again? I think that there's some sort of penalty for that. If you're a Muslim and you leave the faith, there's something that the other Muslims do. I can't quite remember it. It's something. I know there's a punishment. I'm just wondering what it is. Anyways, back to the video. All right, we're down here. And if science can't explain that, then it certainly can't provide a logical answer for our own origins in humans. And don't bring up that monkey nonsense in here. Oh, man. So he's confusing cosmology and biological evolution. And thinking monkeys, when monkeys and humans share a common ancestor, because he doesn't understand evolution. Yeah, you didn't convince me that there's a God. And all you've done is convince me that you don't understand science. You don't want to understand science. And as far as logic goes, you don't know what logic even is. Anyways, back to the video, I guess.
I want to use a methodology called rational deductive process. It's a way of thinking where we use common sense and we take propositions.
All right, you don't have any common sense, so
That I recognize globally from which we derive logical conclusions.
you don't even know what you just said.
Now here's how we can refute my arguments. As I proposed 4 possibilities.
I'm sorry, I must have missed something. When did you offer an argument? There was no syllogism. You didn't offer an argument. You asked a loaded question and provided a false quaternary to it. I think it's called quaternary. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because it's not a dichotomy. See, di, tri, quad. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, quaternary. I'm right about that. I'm not going to look it up. I'm just going to pretend I'm right. Much like this guy is doing for his entire video.
Of the creation of this universe, okay? You can choose any of the 4, well, it's going to be 3 possibilities, because I'm only going to be choosing one possibility that is going to be rational and logical explanation for the beginning of this universe, you can choose any of the three possibilities.
No, none of them are possibilities, and no, I'm not going to choose any of them. I reject your idea in full. That's not how argumentation works. Hey, accept my idea. Here's my idea. Okay, I'm going to propose that the universe didn't ever have a beginning, thus never had a beginner to it, and that I'm also going to propose that something that has never been created cannot exist. And I'm also going to propose that a mind without a brain doesn't work and isn't a thing. And I'm also going to propose that a being can only exist with a physical body. There you go. There you go. Which one of those are you going to accept? Oh, you can't. Oh, you have to accept one of those three things. Oh. That's not how things work.
Tell me why my explanation is false and give me your arguments why you think that possibility is the correct explanation for the beginning.
Well, I've already explained to you, not that you're going to respond to my video or care what I say. I suppose you're just going to complain about me saying that we don't know and things like this. But your question was malformed, so I don't need to answer it. It's a loaded question. When did you last stop beating your wife? That's a loaded question. What explains the beginning of the universe assumes there was a beginning to the universe. I don't assume that there was a beginning to the universe. Maybe there was. You haven't proven that. Neither has science. And no, atheists don't agree that there's a beginning to the universe. And I would challenge you to demonstrate that that's true. But you haven't done that. You haven't done anything to demonstrate that your ideas are true even a little bit. You just said that they're true. But I already know that cosmologists don't agree. So I already know that you're wrong in terms of what science says. But go ahead, cite all the scientists that you think say there's a beginning of the universe. And don't just point to the names, but the peer-reviewed papers that they have. I dare you. You won't do even one. Just to say, but we know. No, you don't know. You don't know. That's the problem. And we humans don't know yet. We have no idea. That is the answer, but that's not a rational explanation. Yeah, we know because we don't know what the explanation is. In fact, we don't even know the right question to ask yet. So your loaded question must be discarded, and your 4 answers or 3 answers or whatever are all irrelevant. I choose none of them at all. If you're asking me how, why universe is, I don't know, man. I'm not a cosmologist. As an atheist, I just don't believe in God. As a skeptic, I don't believe in much of anything. But regardless, I don't pretend to know things that I don't know. But that doesn't mean I don't know what the answer isn't. See, not knowing what the answer is, let's say again, 1,000,000 to the power of 47.7. Well, I don't know what the answer is, but I know it's not 0, and I know it's not a negative number, and I also know because there was a point in the other number that there's going to be a point in the answer, but I don't know what it is, but I know it's going to be a big old number, but I don't need to know what the answer is to know what the answer isn't. In a similar way, I don't need to know how the universe came to be to know that the answer is not what religions claim, because they are a claim, a vacuous claim, empty claim made by humans, invented by humans for humans. And humans can be wrong, and humans can make up stories, and humans can lie. And as far as I can tell, your religion is no different than any other religion as far as making up stuff and just pretending that it's true. I don't believe that your book is special or magical or holy. I don't revere it. I don't think that it reveals any truths. I think that anything that it does say that happens to be true, it did so on complete accident. And I think that many of its, or all of its morals, I dare say, are backwards, old fashioned, wrong, etc. I think that killing people because they don't believe in a religion is incorrect and wrong. I think that taxing people because they don't belong to your religion is wrong. I think that ordering women to dress head to toe and cover themselves is wrong. There's a lot of things that your religion promotes that I'm against. What's the age of consent, by the way, in your religion? I don't know. But to be fair, Christianity and Judaism also don't have an age of consent. But I happen to know that your prophet was totally fine with marrying people way younger than I would agree with. But I'm not answering your question at all. And I'm not going to pick one of your answers either, because that's not how this works. In order for you to prove God, all you would have to do is show that there is a God, not argue for a God, especially not with this broken argument that you are offering us, but just demonstrate God. You know, it's not that hard. Like, look, I have a can of electric duster spray. Oh, look. There it is. Electric duster spray. Wow. I proved that I have it. Now, do that for God. Oh, you can't. Why not? Okay, maybe you can't show me God because God's invisible. Cool. Do you have any tests that I can run on God? No? Why not? And all the answers to those sort of questions always are, well, God is this way. But how do you know God is that way in the first place? You don't. Your malformed, broken argument with multiple logical fallacies cannot and will not convince me that your God or any God exists. Oh, he's not done? Oh, God, there's more? Wait, let's see if I can do his thing. Let me see. Do I got it? Do I look like him yet? No? Okay.
Of this universe. Or you can choose or add a new possibilities from your own and then explain why it is the correct explanation for this whole thing. Do you?
Sure, why not? The Lobsterist. Well, let's just go with that. Screw it. Yeah, read The Lobsterist. I'm not going to read it to you, but it's on my profile thing. Like, if you look, it's not that hard to find it. You go to my channel, right? You go view my channel. I'll show you, okay? So it's not that hard, all right? I know they changed how things work. So it's like, you see where it says, like, more links here. You click more, and then you'll see my blog. That's not it, okay? Then you'll see Lobsterist, right? And you click that, right? And then it loads, and you'll see the Lobsterist right here. Here you go. And you can click it, this little thing, and it flips, and you can read it. And there you go. Okay. Read that, and that explains everything. There you go. There's my explanation. Debunk the Lobsterist. I dare you. Nobody's even tried yet. I bet. I bet 1,000,000 lobster points that no one will ever dare to debunk the Lobsterist, let alone even read it. Like, you'd have to be completely insane to read the entire Lobsterist out loud. I mean, like you'd have to be like, I don't know, you would have to like somebody would have to like, I don't know, tie you to a desk or something. Like sorry, I died there for a moment. I'm fine. Um yeah, like you'd have to be a captive of somebody in order to like read the lobstress. It's just insane, you know. Nobody would do it. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh man. Ah, oh, oh, ah, I gotta stop doing these sort of videos, man. It's killing my voice. Well, there's more to do though. There's always more to do. No rest for the wicked.
Universe is created by nothing. Now, nothing is nothing. It's literally the absence of anything. Unless you can convince me that nothing could maybe be something, then I don't see any reason to argue this further. It's illogical.
Okay, nothing is nothing. That also means that there are no rules, there are no laws, there is no anything, right? Okay, so in that weird reality that isn't even there because reality isn't even a thing, then there's nothing to prevent something from happening. There's nothing to prevent everything from happening because there's no rule that says it couldn't happen. That is somewhat logical, although weird and seemingly paradoxical. But I don't believe that that is a thing because I don't believe in nothing, because I have no proof of nothing and I've never observed a nothing. And if we had a nothing, who knows if it wouldn't be something actually. So that would be kind of weird. But yeah, I don't pick that one because I don't pick any of your answers.
Example, 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 will never equal 1. It's always
Yes, but 0 to the power of 0 is 1.
0. The universe created itself. Now, if the universe created itself, that means that the universe was in existence and out of existence at the same time, which is a paradox. For example, can your mother give birth to herself?
Okay, the universe existed and then made the universe. Sure, why not? It doesn't have to make sense to be true. Also, yes, your mother could give birth to herself if we cloned her and put her in her belly. And then yeah, she could give birth to herself. So yes to the second question.
Absolutely not. The universe is created by something else that is created. For some reason, this reminded me of one of the episodes of Rick and Morty, where he was charging the battery of his space car by creating a universe that was working on supplying energy to his car from that universe. And then that universe created another universe, and that universe created another universe, and so on. Anyway, coming back to reality, if we assume
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Under your theology, aren't we created to worship God or something? Like pray to God. Almost as if like we need to give God our energy. Just saying.
that the universe was created by another universe, we would then have an infinite loop.
Oh, you'd have an infinite loop. No, you mean an infinite regress.
Endless regress, where every single answer leads to another question without reaching an ultimate explanation.
Yeah, that might be the way it is. Oh well.
It is a situation where reasoning endlessly depends on prior reasoning. For example, this universe number 1 is a result of universe number 2, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
universe number 2 is
we
a
get
result
it.
of
Yeah, we
universe
understand.
number
Yeah,
3,
I know,
and so on
It's endless.
infinitely. And of
Yeah,
course, we end up with another paradox,
That's
which leaves us with the
not a paradox.
only final rational explanation for the beginning of this universe, which is possibility number 4. This universe was created by something
Which one did you take out? Because you said 3, and now you're saying whatever.
created, aka God.
Nope. No to all of that. God also would require an explanation for how it works and why it is. Why is there God rather than no God? Now, if God's always existed, how does that work exactly? Because God then would be infinite into forever. So, how does that work? Why is God allowed to do that, but the universe isn't, or reality isn't? How does God function? What is God made out of exactly? Or is it made out of anything? What are the component things that make God God? Where does its energy come from? Where does its mind operate? How does any of that work? What God is and how God is and what God can or can't do and where God is located and what it's made out of. All of these questions cannot and will never be answered by theology, which means that you don't actually have an explanation according to your own idea. That if you can't fully explain everything, then you don't really have an explanation. Because remember, I don't know is not a rational explanation. So if I ask you, how does God function? You're not allowed to say you don't know. If I ask you what God is made out of, you're not allowed to say, I don't know. I guess you could say that God's not made out of anything. So God is made of nothing. So God isn't. How does that work? Again, you're not allowed to say, I don't know, right? Anyways, you don't have anything to offer us atheists or even theists. All you have is a broken argument. And I know beyond a doubt that you won't answer my video, will you? But actually, I could be wrong, but I'm probably not wrong. Tell you what, I'll bet 5 lobster points that I'm not wrong, which means I am wrong. I don't know how that works. But I have a different question for you. Pineapple. Now, there are 4 choices you can choose from. 1, Blaster Master. 2, Captive Desk. 3, Phantom 11. Or 4, Math Pig. You have to pick one of my answers because that's how it works. Anyways, look forward to you debunking the lobsters because you're totally going to do that after you don't respond to my video, right? Let's go ahead and try to leave a comment on his channel and see if that works. I think I did. I said time to respond to this live, I guess, and I think that that's still there, but I'm not sure. Let's find out. Newest first. Oh, it's still there. Let's try this though. I made a live response to your video. Check it out and respond to me. He. Math Pig loves me. It's true. 9,001%. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now let's see if that comment stays as a comment. Nope. It just immediately vanished. Look, new comments first. Oh no, it's there. It's staying there. Oh, please stay there. Please stay there. Please stay there. Don't be marked as spam. Don't be marked as spam. Come on. Newest first. Come on. Nope, it disappeared again. Is it okay? Top comment? Newest first. Nope, died. Okay. Math captive Phantom. What was the other guy's name? I forgot now. Who else was in here? Oh, Blaster Master, right. Blaster wants you to respond to me of the video. YouTube, don't delete my comment. It's not spam, I swear. Okay, let's see if this sticks. All right, let's see. Okay, come on. I'm so excited. 74. Oh, wait, where is it though? It says 74, but it doesn't show it. Top comments, newest first. Come on. No, there it is. There it is. Yes, stay. Oh, this is gonna confuse the hell out of him. All right. Anyways, all right. Enough of that. Okay. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. We don't have any valid argument here because he didn't even offer us a syllogism. So, no empirical evidence, no repeatable test. He was wrong about science. He was wrong about atheists, and he's just wrong in general. So, we should be skeptical of his conclusion. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment on my video, which you all won't do, even though I beg you to do it. You don't do it. I don't know why you don't do it. You just don't. I don't know. Until next time, be skeptical, and after that, stay skeptical. Death! That was it. When you leave Muslim as a Muslim, it's death. I remembered what happens. Also, if you burn the Quran, I'm pretty sure you get killed. Or if you paint Muhammad or draw Muhammad, you also get killed. But remember, they're a religion of peace.